Metro Boomin is this generation's most prominent and successful producer. It's not even close if we really think about it. Even outside of hip-hop, there's not a lot of producers that can say they've had the success that Metro has had over the past decade. In many ways, the man has soundtracked the sound of the last 10 years of hip-hop. Father stretch my hands, congratulations, bank account, where ya at? You was right, tunnel vision, mask off, bad and bougie, among many other songs were the soundtrack of a whole generation of hip hop. And yet, it really wasn't supposed to happen, at least not realistically. Leland Tyler Wayne, better known as Metro Boomin, got into beat making through wanting to rap. There was a problem with the whole rap thing. One of those problems was being born in St. Louis. And even beyond that, a bigger problem for a young Metro Boomin was that he was broke.
I wanted to be a rapper when I was younger, so you gotta buy beats and pay for it. I didn't have any money for that, so I was just trying to make my own beats.
Fortunately for us, Metro discovered that he had a love for beat making. And because of that love for beat making, he put aside his rapping career and he focused purely on beat making, overcoming every barrier that he may have had along the way.
I remember when I was in prison, I was reading the Fader magazine. I was reading about how Metro mom used to take him all the way to Atlanta. I was in the penitentiary, Fader magazine. I don't know if you remember that article.
Wow.
We talking about like
exactly
2000. We talking about like 2016.
Right.
The article came out like 2016. I'm in the penitentiary. I'm reading that, and you just was like, "Man, I'm out here. I'm grinding, man. We getting down here. We going to the A to make it happen." And now you done made beats for everybody.
Whatever it is I'm going at or doing, I work hard and I'm not gonna stop.
Eventually, Metro would move to Atlanta, staying at the house of fellow producer Sonny Digital. Together, they made big hits by the end of their time.
Going up on a Tuesday. Got your girl in the cut, she choosing.
And although this was the first of many hits that Metro Boomin would have in the following years, whether it be with Travis Scott, Young Thug, Future, or even Drake, for me, what's really emblematic of what made Metro Boomin special was his collaboration album alongside 21 Savage, Savage Mode.
Smashed the stripper in a hotel with my chains on.
I'm not gonna lie and say that Savage Mode was Metro's most successful project, and it definitely didn't have the cultural impact of a Bad and Bougie, but what it did have was 9 songs that showed a lot of what you needed to know about Metro Boomin's producing and what made him special.
Why you pulling out these rappers' cards? Cutty nigga pussy and I'm hard.
Whether it be on the layback side or the gym playlist type of way, Savage Mode provided a blueprint for the next generation of producers of what an album was supposed to sound like. And, you know, he did it with 21 Savage.
I'm just stunting on my ex, bitch.
It's almost impossible for me to talk about 21 Savage or Metro Boomin and not talk about the other. 21 Savage was someone who really needed someone like Metro Boomin to become the type of star that he is today. Because 21's style, especially at the time, was something that a lot of people might have tuned out, and on the other hand, they would have called it boring. But I also do think that Metro Boomin needed someone like 21 Savage. He has this laid back style, and I think because of that, it allows the listener to listen to the sounds more than they would in an average rap song. Hopefully that makes sense, cause I don't know if it did. Anyways, after a few years of Metro Boomin producing collaboration tapes and hits, he decided to retire.
Metro recently deleted all of his posts on Instagram and updated his bio to read retired record producer / DJ.
Now, rap retirements are really just like pump fakes, you know? A rap retirement just means I'm taking a year off. But for Metro Boomin, it meant I'm releasing an album this year.
For the spaceship, now I'm a space cadet. Big white mansion in my habitat.
In 2018, Metro Boomin released his debut studio album, Not All Heroes Wear Capes. Although he had a lot of projects beforehand, whether it be collaboration tapes or mixtapes, this was his first major release as a solo artist. The album kicks off with a Gucci Mane feature, which I think is really cool because he was one of the first rappers to get on the Metro Boomin wave. In fact, he worked with Metro Boomin before he even graduated high school.
In peace, may you rest, never ever shoot below the net.
Of course, 21 Savage is here. You also have Drake and Young Thug and Travis Scott on here. It was truly an all-star cast of rap. It's a really good album to check out if you're really into that production that Metro Boomin has. And it works even if you're not going to focus 100% on it, because it's definitely made for casual listening.
I pull up till I can't pull no more. I slow down.
After the release of Not All Heroes Wear Capes, Metro Boomin just kind of chilled out. Available, and he still made songs here and there, but especially in terms of hits, his production slowed way down. That is, at least, until the release of The Weeknd's Heartless. Not that you would have known by the lyrics or anything, but yeah, Metro Boomin produced this song, and he did a great job at it.
Cause I'm heartless, and I'm back to my ways, cause I'm heartless.
The Weeknd obviously does a great job of leaning into 80s sounds and that type of thing. So to see him in a Metro Boomin type of rap beat was amazing.
I've been dodging death in the 6-speed. Amphetamine got my stomach feeling sickly.
Especially because this was the lead single for whatever his next album was going to be. And it was an instant success, debuting at #1. And which should have felt especially cool for Metro Boomin, considering that The Weeknd is hyping him up like throughout the whole track.
Metro Boomin turn his hoe into a mosh pit.
Although if we're talking about 2020 albums, Metro Boomin's production on After Hours doesn't really compare to what he did on Savage Mode 2.
Nigga keep talking that UK shit like I don't got AKs. 21.
4 years after Savage Mode 1, this album really just kind of showed how much both artists had grown in the meantime. Whereas Savage Mode 1 kind of feels like an introduction to who these guys are, by the time Savage Mode 2 comes around, they are superstars.
I'ma slide anytime you want. Put you in Chanel.
I don't know if it's a bigger budget or anything, but the production here is much smoother and much more grand as well. And again, I do understand that the original Savage Mode was going for a different type of thing. I'm just noting the differences. And speaking of things that changed, I think my favorite change to this album is Morgan Freeman's narration.
Savage is defined as fierce, beastly, and untamed.
Thanks in parts to Metro's production, what Morgan Freeman is saying sounds like the coolest shit ever said. And it's in these interludes with Morgan Freeman that we really see how Metro Boomin can capture a mood, similar to like a movie score type of thing, you know what I mean?
The same outcomes. They are not two, but one.
Especially with the intro having Morgan Freeman introduce 21 Savage and Metro Boomin and having that fade into the second track, it's awesome.
I now present to you Savage Mode 2.
And the sample flips on this album, man, it's just special, man. It's just special.
Call the first one Savage Mode my mood, that's what it was.
Honestly, a lot of producers might not be able to top this, but Metro Boomin is Metro Boomin. And I'd say that with the release of Heroes and Villains, Metro Boomin might have released his best work up to this point. Even before the album came out, Metro Boomin had one of the best, if not the best, rollouts I've seen for an album in years, with the Pink Floyd stuff, as well as announcing the features of the album with comic book covers. Metro Boomin was cooking, and the album didn't disappoint. From the jump, you understand that this album is gonna be something that Metro Boomin has never done before.
Every story needs a superhero and a villain.
It sounds special, it sounds like an event. In a way, it makes you feel rewarded for listening to it. You got A$AP Rocky introducing Metro Boomin, then this violin starts playing and John Legend starts singing and everything is great. You got like this whole choir singing and shit before Morgan Freeman comes back. Then that leads into a build-up for Superhero.
Yeah, drinking dope turned me to a superhero.
Future's been on fire lately, by the way, I'm not gonna lie. And there's also Chris Brown on this song who does decent, but the main highlight of this song is Future.
Fly in the parachute, gripping that pole again, I'm on that all again.
Even The Weeknd kills it.
I don't wanna know if you're playing.
Honestly, better than the original, which, by the way, reminds me, 21 was doing his thing throughout the whole album.
I'm the one put you in that Leontay fashion over model. I put you on the runway.
And in an album full of great performances, the closer of the album is also amazing.
Greedy like wolves, Adam Eve with the fruit.
A$AP Rocky does his thing in the intro with the hook as well, but the beat outshines him. Again, the sample flip on this song is amazing, and I want to personally thank Metro Boomin for putting up the process of making this beat on YouTube. And still, even with the great production from this song, I think that most people, when they walked away from the song, the highlight was Takeoff's verse.
Mama told me go and get it. I was trying to get a ticket.
Maybe it's because it was so close to Takeoff's passing, but this verse feels like one of the prime examples of what made Takeoff so special.
Finish a sentence. Everyday money get printed.
Especially with the whole scheme of him going through the whole alphabet. It's hard for me to hate on this verse, but I do want to say that part of what made this verse so great is Metro's production. Like, I think in a vacuum, this verse is good, but with Metro's production on hand, this verse is great. But then again, I think that's what a producer is supposed to do. They're supposed to make good things great and great things legendary. Metro has an eye for the things that go beyond music. It's part of what made this rollout so great, with the comic book characters and just understanding the concept that he was going for. And if you ask me, that's why Metro Boomin is the most super of hip-hop producers, at least for this generation. Also, did y'all see the short film? This is amazing. You got like Keith Stanfield throwing out what is this, a fire truck that instead of water throws out flames? This is insane. Oh, and Morgan Freeman is back again. Anyways, I made this video because like when I made my 21 Savage video, there was a lot of comments that were like saying that I said Metro Boomin instead of Metro Boomin, and that just annoyed me. Maybe I'll get those again. I don't know. Anyways, shout out to y'all, shout out to me especially, shout out to Metro, and shout out to Jay Dilla.